Hey, it's Mazzy. Beatles. Continue. This is a quick video, a little bit of response video. I've been getting inboxes on Instagram and various messenger apps all day today.
Unfortunately, it wasn't the $20,000 record that I had hoped. But, Beatles stuff is really tricky like that because there's so much Beatles stuff and almost all of it has been mass produced, so it's not really worth that much money. Beatles records are worth 20, 30 bucks here in the States. Most of them are worth that if they're in decent shape. But occasionally a really rare one sneaks in there and you're like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. And Dylan knows. He knows his shit. I'm a big Beatle collector. And again, thanks for the shout out within that video. It was a video, and we all like to do these clickbait titles, and it's called Beatles album worth $20,000 ? Now he knows it's not worth that, but let's talk about this. I seem to have a bootleg of a bootleg, maybe, if that makes any sense, but it's got everything exactly as Dylan's copy, except the label. His is a much cooler, realistic label. Mine's definitely a bootleg style label, and I just want to let him and everyone else know I bought this copy for about $40 to $50 in 1986. So long before he was born, possibly, or around when he was born, I don't know. But he showed this. Okay, it looks like a Get Back press kit and promo album, and it came with this great envelope. Now his was addressed to Richard DeLello, who was considered sort of a house hippie at Apple on Savile Row, and he ended up writing the book, The Longest Cocktail Party, one of the great Beatle books about the crash and burn wasted money at Apple Corps and Apple Records and Apple Electronics, the whole Apple business, Apple Films. So Richard DeLello is known in Beatle circles. That's who his is addressed to. Mine is addressed to Jackie Lomax, and of course, Jackie Lomax had one album, I think, only on Apple Records, produced by George Harrison, and Sour Milk Sea, right? Remember that song by him? And of course, it has the stamps, and I mean, this is pretty interesting in terms of bootleg design. Here's the album that we're talking about. Now, obviously, it's made to look like the original Get Back album that was never released. The version that was originally mixed by Glenn Johns. And this is how it was going to come out, with the great photograph of the Beatles recreating their Please Please Me cover. And this is taken at EMI House in Manchester Square, long gone, torn down. Same photographer, I think it was Angus McBean, I believe, that took that. Totally recreates the cover of that first album. Now, this copy comes with the memorandum, almost like a press release, talks about the whole thing on Apple Record stationery, replica stationery, multi-pages. I don't know if Dylan had this, maybe I missed it, but it does come with this poster. So this is pretty elaborate for a bootleg. This is 1980s bootleg. Look at this. This is the Get Back poster that has the Manchester Square photograph. Now here's where we differ, and he has the better label, the Apple label. Mine is actually a bootleg label, so we definitely know this is a bootleg. Blackbird Records. Now, according to Dylan, he did some research on it because he saw that some years back, someone bought a copy of it for $10,000 on eBay, thinking it was a real promo. Now, apparently the person that sold it didn't say it was an original, but it's going, in some cases, over $1,000. I think the going rate really is anywhere from $200 to $400. That would be my guess. It is collectible, definitely collectible. My guess is his is more collectible because of the label, but mine is around that time. My guess is a few companies put it out, or they pressed it with different labels at the time. I don't know the whole story of that and how they were made, because of course, his was, I believe, Trademark of Quality is one of the big bootleg that was doing, going back to the early 70s, actually, from Great White Wonder with Dylan and Beatles. And at the end of here, I'm going to put a link to an old video I did. It's probably dated, I haven't watched it in years, that showcases some of my Beatle bootlegs. I need to, at some point, organize my Beatle bootlegs and get them in some kind of database or something. But anyway, I just want to do a shout out to Dylan.
But thank you guys for watching. Leave me in the comments, what's the rarest record you have? I want to hear about it. I want to hear about the rarest record you have. Put it in the comment section if you watch this long. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, Dylan. I mean, and he knows his records. I mean, he knows much more about collectibles than I do, a lot of rare records, because that's his business. And as he says in his video, I'll put a link below to his video as well. He buys thousands of records every week for his store and his collection, but for resale. So thanks for watching, and thanks Dylan for the shout out and telling people about this this really interesting and well done bootleg. Mazzy loves you.